Hello everyone, thanks for joining me for another video looking through my record collection. We're nearly at the end of the stuff on the shelves, and then there's just really the stuff that's on the floor, the overspill if you like, a lot of which is multicoloured to get through. So with the last but one kind of section with the vinyl now, and I'll see if I can get through this kind of half section of records, and then we've got one more full section to show you. So let's crack on with it. I really don't know what we're going to find down here, because this is stuff that's literally been hidden since we moved. Okay. Okay, so for some reason on its own down here we've got a copy of Dark Side of the Moon. This is a relatively early pressing. It's not a blue pyramid or anything like that. It's a matte finish sleeve. I think it's got the bits in it. Let's have a look. Yeah, so the two posters and the postcard sticker thingy. It says standard, but it is an earlyish one, so the actual, this is an A3. This is an A3B3, so I think they're kind of looked on as relatively early. Pressings, and it's got a little bit of ring wear and a little bit of edge wear on the on the opening edge, but otherwise not too bad at all really. So that's completely out of order, because I don't think my other Floyd LPs are down here. They might be. What have we then got? Okay, it's not a record. This is the musical box Genesis Tribute Band. They did the Lamb Riders down on Broadway, and so seen them a few times. So that was the programme that they gave us, the Lamb Riders down on Broadway, and it's quite cleverly done. And inside I think you've got a bit of photos, so it kind of opens out photo sheet, and same on the other side. And then this was a programme book, just for celebrating the band, the musical box, and that's my ticket from the Black show that they did, celebrating the 50th anniversary of Genesis. That would have been 2017. So yeah, I've just happened to keep those. Just because, I don't know really. They're not worth anything really, but right, we're finally going to have a look at the record. Ah, yes. So none of you will be interested in this, but this is the Prince of Wales investiture at Carnarvon Castle in the 70s. sorry, in 1969, showing my ignorance. So they brought a recording out on LP, and they also gave you this investiture brochure, official souvenir program so for those who went and attended as a member of the public, you got this brochure. So nothing to do with music, but it's quite an interesting thing in its way. I am a supporter of the royal family, despite its various trials and tribulations. And I remember watching that as I would have been 8 years old. My parents insisted that we all sat down and watched that, and it's got in one side Welsh, on the other side in English, all about the investiture of the man who is now our king. So that was an oddity that I saw. Charity shop, I suppose, or maybe a record fair, and yeah, quite happy to have that. It bites 12-inch underneath your pillow, full-length version remix, and B-side is even better. Still too young to remember live, and Murder on the Planet Earth. So it's not colourblind or anything. It's just 12-inch single, and I do like those tracks that they did. Oh, Joni Mitchell. Oh, excuse me. Original copy of Don Juan's Reckless Daughter. So genuinely classic album. This was 1978. Beautiful gatefold sleeve, and I think there's inners as well with this. Yeah, lovely. And she was doing lots of different projects really in the 70s, and this was different again. And it's so long since I listened to this, but and the writing's too small for me to read. But yeah, I think she's got she's got some various influences going on that one. Yeah, just a classic original. So again, Joni stuff's all over the place. Okay, so another 70s album, I think. Joni Mitchell and the LA Express, Miles of Aisles. Original pressing from 74. So again, she has great sleeves. Gatefold sleeve. So she got this great band with her. Oh, in fact, that's quite a complicated sleeve. So, oops, that opens that way, and then you've got that coming there, and yeah, it's a live album recorded in LA, the Universal Amphitheatre. Yeah, that's right. So it's coming back to me now. Yeah, brilliant stuff. 74, great year. Okay, so we've then got David live. this is not the original double album that came out, but the reissue triple album. And yeah, so Tower Theatre, Tower Ballroom, sorry, the Tower, Philadelphia. And funny enough, I never got the David Live album. I had Stage, but I never got the David Live. So when they did it as a triple, I thought, well, I'll get it now. Just careful. So fantastic stuff, really. And the each LP's got its own insert. I mean, he had such a great band with him, didn't he, on this tour? Fantastic stuff. So I'll just remind myself what else is in there. I think they're just, yeah. So it became an essential document to have, and get it as the triple rather than the double. Right. More Bob Dylan's greatest hits. This was the sort of follow-up to the greatest hits one. I think again this was a record fair buy. I think the sleeve was a bit worn, but the records are fine. So yeah, don't need to say much more about that, but it's definitely an original pressing. So it opens out like that, and the record is accessible through there. Just brilliant stuff. So that really should be next to the other one. And instead what we find is Trevor Rabin's 90124 album. So he did it in the style of 90125, so kind of milking it, I suppose. But it's demos of Yes tracks that he wrote and contributed to the S band. So it is a double album, and it's coloured vinyl, I think. Yeah, clear vinyl, nice labels. So yeah, in a way it's interesting to hear the demo versions of the tracks. I mean, you've got Hold On, Changes, Where Will You Be, Owner of Lonely Heart, Wolves, Love Will Find a Way, Miracle of Life, plus a handful of other tracks that he did. The comment you have to say, I suppose, is that there were fairly ordinary records until Yesified them, sorry. And then they became okay. Ah, right, okay, so now we've got... That's not right. Just pull one out. Temptations Anthology. So I'm not heavily into my soul, but I do like quite a lot of the Motown stuff, and the Temptations were just heads and shoulders above, really. This again is an original, was it 1973? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I think it's a triple. and it's got quite a sleeve on it. So that opens that way. And then that opens that way, if we can just about do it. And so the records themselves sit very nicely in these inner flaps. You get a beautiful book. Really great information on the book. Inner sleeve, and the black Tamla labels. So right, so the middle record comes out from the top of the middle section, and the other one has its own. So Ball of Confusion was a record that I always thought was almost kind of verging on the progressive rock, kind of rock pop music, but it had something more about it, and it's always attracted me to the band ever since. So I just think it's important that you have some Temptations in your collection, and if you can get an anthology and do it all in one go, then that's the way to go. That's very tight in the back because it's quite a thick, heavy thing. Wonderful stuff. For some reason next to that I've got Aisha's Don't Cry 12-inch. Don't think it's coloured vinyl, is it? No. Right. Nice Roger Dean sleeve. Something other you can say about it. Okay, we've then got Rick Wakeman live, Hammersmith Odeon 1985. This is kind of a scarce LP. This is quite a scarce LP. It's on the Pronit label, which I think is Polish. That's the back of the sleeve. So yeah, side 1's Journey, side 2 Arthur and Merlin. That's what it says. And very minimalist labels. And I got this from Record and Tape Exchange in was it Notting Hill? Yeah, Notting Hill Gate. Very close to where the old Yes offices were. Their stickers are completely unremovable. So the fact that I paid a £5 for it is something I can't hide. But it's worth a bit more than that now, I think. Dear old Uncle Rick. Then we've got Aisha's Smile Has Left Your Eyes, 12-inch single. That might be coloured vinyl actually. Nope, it's black. So yeah, these have all got mixed up, haven't they? But you can see there's kind of some yes things going on down here. We've then got Green Slade, Cactus Choir, is it called? Yeah, Cactus Choir. Fantastic sleeve. The album's okay, not one of their best, I don't think. 1976. and it wasn't a gatefold sleeve. You had these inserts, and they've actually duplicated them, so I've got 2 copies of the same thing. So 3 tracks with lyrics. Yeah, I was just checking whether there was a sheet missing, but these are all the vocals on the album. So in fact, what they call Greeley and the Rest is just the vocal section from the Cactus Choir track. So they just duplicated those by mistake. And yeah, it's just a nice original 70s record with a beautiful Roger Dean sleeve. So that should be in a protective cover, so I'll leave that in. Right, so I think we're then into some Roger Dean sleeves. So original Aussie Bisa, one of Roger's most stunning sleeves. This is a laminated sleeve, so I'll have to show you that in all its glory. How about that for a cover? And on the inside, this is Portuguese pressing, MCA Portugal. So slightly different. I think that's why it's laminated. And black label. Quite heavy pressing actually. But yeah, if you go back through my videos, you'll see I used to try and collect all Roger Dean's albums with Roger Dean sleeves, and didn't quite get everyone. There was always an old obscure thing that cropped up that was going to cost about 500 quid, so it's a great album actually. I can see next to it Wayaya. So again, original pressing with great artwork, absolutely tremendous. And yeah, just great stuff. Great stuff. Of its time on Aussie Bisa, but MCA, that's the UK pressing, I think. 72 was it that came out? 71. Tony Visconti on the production. That's that. Okay, so then we've got Uriah Heep, Demons and Wizards. So this is the reissue that they did a few years back. This is back on black. And this was done in 2010. So again, did a really nice job of this. Beautiful heavy cardstock sleeve. And the inside just as beautiful. And this is blue vinyl, so I've forgotten they did it in coloured vinyl. This is definitely a classic Heap album. So again, 72 was the original release. Interesting. It's lovely for me to revisit these things and just remind myself I must get some of these out to play before it's too late. Okay, so next after that. Yeah, okay. Personal special thing for me, this is my daughter, Catherine Hatt. She's released a few albums on CD, and I always said I'd get one of her albums on vinyl, and in the end we did this for her when she was 40. So this was only last year actually. So it's kind of, we did a compilation and put this sleeve together. And it's all her artwork, which we just borrowed, and we did it as a picture disc. So it worked really well. It's a pattern that she had on one of her records, and that's a line drawing that somebody did of her many years ago. So there are a few videos of her on YouTube if you want to look up the name, and yeah, it's a very special person and we love her to bits. So excuse the indulgence there, but that's one of two copies that exist of that, and she has the other one, of course. She's done poetry, she's done acting, she's done lots of theatre stuff, and as I say, lots of musical stuff. And she's hoping to get back into some music maybe this year. Okay, so this is Fantasia Live in Tokyo. It's triple vinyl, and it's kind of down here with the Roger Dean stuff. So this is a non-gatefold sleeve. Kind of feeling it's coloured vinyl. No, it's not. It's just black vinyl, and you get an insert, which is all very lovely. So obviously classic lineup from 2007 when they'd reformed with John Wetton. Great to see John Wetton performing so well, and yeah, it's just a essential thing really for me. Lovely looking thing. Okay, so still on the Roger Dean sleeve theme, Nitro Function. This is not the original but the copy, reissue, but it's one of Roger Dean's very early sleeves. So this came out on O Music 2013, the original was 1971. And so Nitro Function was really an album, a band formed by Billy Cox, with Robert Tarrant on drums and Charvin Edge on guitar. and Billy Cox played with Hendrix and Mitch Mitchell, and he was on the Rainbow Bridge Hendrix film thing. I think it's black vinyl, yeah. Very heavy pressing, and it's just nice to have a version of it. I think yeah, I can't remember much about the music on it, but I remember getting it because it was the Roger Dean sleeve, which is, I know it's a name, isn't it? But I think the original album is probably very, very expensive. Okay, I think I've got more than one copy of this. This is an original copy of Motown Chartbusters Volume 6, which is the essential one to have because it's got Roger Dean sleeve. It's a lovely kind of linen textured sleeve, and it's absolutely fantastic. All the tracks on it are fantastic. Again, that should be in a plastic sleeve, but yeah, beautiful. I think I've got more than one copy of that. That's nitro function. Okay, so this is actually a faux Roger Dean sleeve because it's not Roger Dean, so he did a sleeve for the band The Lighthouse, or Lighthouse, and they did the best of, and they kind of used his idea, but it's not actually true Roger Dean painting, but it was close enough for me to want to have it, and I actually quite like the music. It's 1976, and I think this is an American pressing. Didn't come with anything else, so it's kind of a budget best of album. I mean, they never reached any real success. They're always a fairly niche band. Okay. Blue Sky on Mars, Matthew Sweet. This is an interesting album. Very, very creative writer. And this has got all sorts of, well, images of Mars. And it's a gatefold sleeve as well. And Roger Dean did that lettering. I think there's anything else inside. Oh yes, there is. Yeah, that's right. So you get an inner bag with all the lyrics and information on that side, and I remember playing this and finding that it was really interesting. It's yeah, it's full of lyrics. Huh. Heaven and Earth is one of the tracks. So, and it's a very hard, rigid sleeve for a gatefold. Back in there. dear, the wrong sort of sleeve. Okay, so down here, separate from the Yes section, there's the two Yes singles, volumes 1 and 2. I've just got them together here. They're splatter vinyls, but don't need to say much more about them. Okay, I think Roger Dean recently put this this painting up on his Facebook site. Vermilion, Flattening Mountains and Creating Empires. So American band, I believe, and they did this double album, and beautiful Roger Dean sleeve, absolutely stunning. That's the inside. And it's decent enough music. It's decent enough music. Yeah. Side 3. They're all single tracks. So for side 1, the title of that track is Frequent Universal Creations Keep Sound Eternally and Thoroughly Tasting Like Energy. Side 2 is called Pachydermus. Side 3 is titled 1313101310137107, and side 4 is titled Amplexus. Leave that there. The sleeve is fantastic and the music's okay. And finally down here, one worth waiting for, I would say. Gravy Train, Staircase to the Day. Absolutely stunning Roger Dean sleeve. Beautiful album. Absolutely beautiful. This is a reissue by Abraxas. I'm just trying to see if it's got the year. I can't quite read it. So it's a lovely glossy sleeve. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Study it for hours. And the inside is just as beautiful. And just an absolute classic album. Psyche, proggy, folky. Just brilliant stuff. See if I can give you the year. No, have to look at the record. So beautiful special labels. And it doesn't really tell us anything about the year. So we could open up a discussion about people buying records just purely for the sleeves. I think we've already covered the buying records purely for the colour of the records. So if there are any purists left that don't hate me, then they probably all do now, but I want that in my collection, and I don't feel as if I need to justify it beyond the artifact. And that actually brings us to the end of that little piece, little section. So I'll get these put in sleeves, and we'll move on to the main last bit. There is a bit more mainstream stuff, I think, in the last section. I think that's where my Floyds are. So we'll see. But thanks for watching, and we're getting there slowly.